Okay, our next intermediate project that we're going to be doing is a little polar bear. And as you can see, the legs of the polar bear, they're going to be divided in half. And if you look at the pattern, you see there's a little leg in front of another leg back here that has to be carved down. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult project, because of course that's what we're doing. That's the purpose of it. This is an intermediate. As you carve along, it'll be just a little bit more difficult, but not a whole lot. So don't panic about that, young people. So this is the cutout here, and as you can see, I drew the little legs in the front, and those will be cut out, in other words. And so this is our little polar bear, cute little project, very, very cute little project. And I'll show you how we're going to create the other legs, and then we're going to divide them down the middle. Now, after this project is of course cut out, and I'm sure that a lot of you scouts will have patterns, or will make your own patterns, or the Scoutmaster will. Now you want the grain to be running this way on the wood, and the reason for that, of course, is the fact that you're going to be carving, you want the grain to run with the legs, because you don't want to have to carve against the grain on the legs, because that's the easiest place that you can get breakage in your piece. So you want the grain to be running this way, okay? Be running up. And you can see that on the piece when you go to cut it. You want the grain. Now you may have to cross grain, carve a little bit here, but that's bigger parts, no problem with really breakage. But in this area is where you'll get your breakage most of the time, when it gets real thin. So let's go ahead and start our project. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is these legs are going to be separated. Both of these. And there's the difficulty of the project. It's just a little bit more that way. Now, what we've done is we have drawn out the project, and here's the front leg. This is your front leg right here, okay? So you're going to get rid of this area and this area on the legs, and that's going to be your back legs back here. That, in other words, you're going to go back here, and then you're going to take, let me show you. These legs are going to be carved in half, in other words. Well, I'll show you basically how to do it. And how we start off with it, first of all, is that you take your knife and you follow this line on this. See? You take your knife, you follow that line, and then you start taking very lightly some of that wood away from so that you can put this leg. See how that looks? Now let's see from the top, or excuse me, from the bottom. We're going to remove. You slowly begin to remove some wood away from there, just like this. Excuse me. And just do it slowly now, okay? And come back and just follow that. Go a little bit deeper with your cut right in here and remove that wood right in here. See that? Just take your time. Don't try to take big cuts. You see from the top up here? I mean from the bottom here? See how that's doing? Just like that. Take your knife You take that, see that? See how that's doing? And you see back here, you're about halfway with this leg. See that? You're about halfway down. Now we're going to do the same thing with this side. You follow the line down, and you slowly remove the wood in this area. Now you just have to take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more, and just cut that wood away from that area in here. See, if you look from the top here, see that? To expose that back leg they have here. You just have to be careful. Now you see that? Now, when you get about halfway through, then we're going to start separating our legs. And we're going to have to be very careful. I'm going to take my knife, and we're going to start separating the legs back here. And right in here.